Imagine it's 2:17 in the morning. You are driving across Interstate 80 somewhere in the middle of America. For the last hour, you've seen nothing but darkness. No cities. No restaurants. No houses. Just an endless highway disappearing into the night. Then, a sea of bright lights appears on the horizon. As you get closer, it looks less like a gas station and more like a small city. Hundreds of trucks are parked in perfect rows. Drivers are walking in every direction. Restaurants are full. Mechanics are repairing engines. Coffee machines never stop. The place is alive while the rest of America sleeps. Most people think truck stops exist for one simple reason: to sell diesel fuel. That's what almost everyone believes. But the truth is far more interesting. Diesel fuel is often the least profitable part of the entire business. The real money is made after drivers turn off their engines and walk inside. Hidden behind those fuel pumps is one of America's smartest business models, quietly generating billions of dollars every year without most people ever noticing. Think about almost everything you own. The phone in your pocket, the food in your kitchen, the clothes in your closet, the television in your living room. At some point, every one of those products was loaded onto a truck. More than 70% of freight in the United States moves by road. Every single day, millions of trucks travel across America's highways carrying goods worth billions of dollars. But trucks have one problem. They can't drive forever. Federal safety regulations limit how long truck drivers can stay behind the wheel. After a certain number of hours, they must stop, whether they want to or not. They need fuel. They need food. They need rest. Sometimes they need repairs. That simple fact created one of the biggest business opportunities in American history. In the early days, truck stops were nothing more than small fuel stations built along major highways. Drivers filled their tanks, grabbed a sandwich, and continued their journey. But as the trucking industry expanded, companies noticed something important. Drivers weren't stopping for just 10 minutes anymore. Many were spending entire nights on the road, sometimes weeks away from home. Suddenly, truck stops had the chance to become much more than places to buy fuel. Companies began adding restaurants, then showers, then laundry rooms, repair garages, convenience stores, barber shops, driver lounges, even small medical clinics. Slowly, truck stops transformed into complete travel centers. The goal wasn't simply to help drivers continue their journey. The goal was to make them stay just a little longer. Because every extra minute inside the building meant another opportunity to make a sale. At first, a driver comes in for diesel. Then he notices he's hungry. He buys dinner. While paying, he grabs a coffee for tomorrow morning. Then a few snacks. Maybe a cold drink. Perhaps a phone charger because the old one stopped working. Before leaving, he remembers he needs clean clothes for tomorrow, so he uses the laundry room and takes a shower. What started as a fuel stop suddenly becomes a purchase worth far more than the diesel itself. That's the secret most people never notice. Fuel brings customers onto the property. Everything else is where the real profits begin. The numbers become even more impressive when you realize this happens thousands of times every single day. One truck stop can welcome hundreds, sometimes thousands, of customers in just 24 hours. Those small purchases quietly add up to millions of dollars every year. And that's exactly why modern truck stops continue getting bigger instead of smaller. Here's where the business becomes even more interesting. Most people assume truck stops make billions because they sell millions of gallons of diesel every year. That sounds logical. After all, fuel pumps are the first thing you notice when you arrive. But in reality, fuel often brings some of the smallest profit margins in the entire business. It's necessary, but it isn't what makes companies rich. The highest profits usually come from products and services inside the building. Coffee costs only a fraction of its selling price to make. Fountain drinks, snacks, sandwiches, and convenience items generate much larger margins than fuel. That's why every truck stop is carefully designed to guide customers through the store before they leave. Every shelf, every restaurant, and every checkout counter is placed to encourage one more purchase. Then there's something many travelers never think about: showers. For someone on vacation, paying $20 for a shower sounds expensive. But imagine living on the road for 3 weeks, sleeping in a truck, driving hundreds of miles every day. For professional truck drivers, a hot shower isn't a luxury. It's part of their daily routine. The same goes for laundry facilities. Clean clothes, a decent meal, and a place to relax become essential services, and truck stops have turned those basic needs into an incredibly profitable business. Parking has become another hidden source of revenue. Every evening, thousands of truck drivers begin searching for a safe place to spend the night before reaching their legal driving limit. The problem is simple. America doesn't have enough truck parking spaces. By sunset, many truck stops are already full. Some companies now charge premium prices for guaranteed overnight parking because drivers simply can't risk running out of time. In this business, even an empty parking space has become valuable. Repairs are another major reason truck stops generate billions. A truck carrying expensive cargo can't afford to sit broken down for long. Every hour it's parked costs money. Deliveries are delayed. Stores wait for products. Businesses lose sales. That's why many truck stops operate repair centers 24 hours a day. Whether it's a flat tire, brake failure, a dead battery, or an engine problem, drivers can get back on the road without traveling far from the highway. Truck stops aren't just fixing trucks, they're saving valuable time. Then came online shopping. Many people assumed companies like Amazon would reduce the need for truck stops. The opposite happened. Every online order creates another delivery. More deliveries mean more trucks. More trucks mean more drivers stopping for fuel, food, parking, and repairs. As e-commerce exploded across America, truck stops quietly expanded right alongside it. Today, the biggest chains like Love's, Pilot Flying J, and Travel Centers of America aren't competing to sell the cheapest diesel. They're competing to become the driver's first choice. Cleaner bathrooms, better coffee, bigger parking lots, faster fuel pumps, more restaurants, better customer service. Because once a driver becomes loyal to one brand, they often return hundreds of times every year. That loyalty is worth thousands of dollars from a single customer. The next time you're driving across America late at night and you see a giant truck stop glowing in the distance, don't just look at the fuel pumps. Look at the restaurants serving meals at 3 in the morning. Look at the mechanics repairing engines before sunrise. Look at the hundreds of drivers preparing to deliver the products that keep America running. What looks like an ordinary stop beside the highway is actually one of the country's smartest business machines. Because truck stops were never built just to sell fuel. They were built around one simple idea. If millions of people are forced to stop, someone is going to build an empire around that stop. And that's exactly what happened. As long as trucks keep moving across America's highways, truck stops will keep making billions. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe for more stories about the hidden businesses, forgotten places, and industries that quietly keep America running.